Hey everyone, it's Michelle with Silver Snake Designs, and in today's video I'm going to teach you how to make my Mayflowers bracelet. This was a fun, beautiful bracelet, and you can see I added a beautiful clasp, and I had so much fun making this. It utilizes cubic right angle weave, and don't worry, I will walk you through it. It's very easy. And I also added some 10mm sequin flowers. You don't have to use sequin flowers. I will have sequin flowers in my Etsy shop as little sampler cards. So if you want, you can get like a sampler card with different colors on it, and you can use those. Or if you have your own flowers, you can use those, whether they're mother of pearl, whether they're glass, whatever you've got. You don't have to use these, but I used them because I wanted to use them up. So here's your materials list, or your recipe list, whatever you want to call it. And I'm using a 2.5mm light green rondelle. This has like a very slight AB finish to it, so it gives it like a really pretty spring color. I'm using Toho size 11. These are color 2111. These are Toho size 11 123. These are Toho PF 557 in size 15, so you'll need the little 15s. Of course, the 10mm flowers, and of course your clasp, a needle, and some thread. And I'm using Fireline 6-pound in crystal. And I wanted to show you, I've got all my different colors out. So I wasn't sure how many links I was going to need, so I did a bunch of different colors and I sorted them out how I wanted the links. I didn't want the same colors close together, so that's how I did mine. All right, let's get started. Okay, so I have added about a little under 1 meter of thread on my needle, and what we're going to do is we're going to start by picking up a rondelle, a cream, a rondelle, and a peach. And then we're going to bring this down. I like to leave a little bit of a tail so I can work my tail back through the piece. And then we're going to go through the very first rondelle that we put on. So just like this. See, come here, you. There. Your work should look like this. Easy peasy. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start by working on a corner piece. We're going to start by making the 90-degree turn, because that'll be the easiest, because we're going to join here in the middle, and it's better to join there in the middle than it is to join on the corners. I still have not figured out how to join the corners, and I've been doing CRAW for a long time now. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up a rondelle, and then we'll pick up 2 cream beads, and then we're going to go right through that green rondelle, and then we'll pull. Your work should look like this. We're going to take our needle and go through the cream bead right there, pull it through. And now we'll pick up a rondelle and a peach, and we will go through this rondelle and this cream bead our thread is exiting. Just like that. This is easy. This is very easy. And then we'll go through and take our thread and go through the next green rondelle. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll pick up 2 cream beads. Oopsie. Okay. And now we'll go through this green rondelle and this green rondelle. Just like that. Okay. And then we will go through the next pink bead, or the peachy bead. Now, I want to show you something. You know, you did it right when you look at it, and if you cut it in half like this half looks like this half, the top half looks like the bottom half, and vice versa. And then when you cut it in half this way, the left side looks like the right side, and back and forth. So that's how it's supposed to look. Then what we'll do is I'll show you what to do next, and then I'll actually do it, because this part of CRAW can be very, very confusing. But the good thing is that we've got like 3 different colors here, which will make it very easy for you to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you and point with my needle. I'm going to come up this cream rondelle, I'll pick up a peach, I'll come down this cream rondelle on the other side here, this bottom one, I'll come across back through here, this peachy, I'll come up the cream and then out this cream one on the other side, okay? So I'll go up through that cream bead right up there. I'll pick up a peach bead and I'll come down there, the cream on the other side, and you can see how it's forming a loop. Then I'll go back through the bottom one, bottom cream or bottom peach, up this cream again, and then we'll go out that cream bead right on the top there, the one next to the bottom cream bead. And now what you can do is pull. And if you did it right, you want to center yourself. Don't look at the work just yet. I want you to center yourself because this can be very confusing. Your thread should be exiting a cream bead going to the right, and you should have a cream on the bottom and a cream on the top, and you should have 2 peaches on either side. Okay, and you can tell you did CRAW right too, because if you look, you could see in the corners here, 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 and here, you'll see the holes. You'll see holes of the beads in the prior round facing you. And that's how you can tell you did that right, okay? So now what we want to do is I want to bring my needle back through all 4 beads. Okay, so let's do that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now, do you see this little green rondelle here at the bottom? If I turn it a little bit, where your thread is exiting the cream, you want to stick your needle in that green rondelle. So you see where we are here with the cream and then the green rondelle, and do that. Okay, now you can stop and take a look at what you just did. Okay, we're set up to do a round. So now that your thread is exiting the green rondelle, you'll now see a green rondelle on the top, a peach bead on the left, and a cream bead on the right. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 unit of CRAW, and we'll do that by picking up a cream, a rondelle, and a cream, and we'll go back through the green rondelle that our thread is exiting. And your work should look like this. And now you want to go through that next cream bead. Okay, and now we will pick up 2 cream beads. Let's move our little flower over there. So 2 cream beads. and we'll go through these 2 cream beads. Okay, and then we'll go through the next green bead, and now we'll pick up a cream and a rondelle, and we'll go through this cream and this rondelle. Now you'll see that the work is starting to stand up on its own. You could see the sides here where the 2 cream beads are, and you could see the 2 rondelles here on the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through there, that peach bead at the bottom. We'll go up that cream bead there. We will pick up a peach. We'll come down the cream on the other side. Okay. And then we'll come back over through that peach, back up that cream, and out the green rondelle on the top there. Okay. Now just take a quick look at what you did. You can see we have a little L shape right there, and we did 1, 2. So now what we have to do is a 90-degree turn. And once again, we'll pick up a rondelle, 2 cream seed beads, and then we'll go back through the rondelle, just like that. We'll go through the next cream bead, and then I'll pick up a rondelle and a peach, and I'll go through this rondelle and this cream bead, just like that. Oops, mind your thread. We'll take our needle and go through the next rondelle, and here we will pick up 2 cream, 2 cream, and then we will go through that rondelle and that rondelle, and then we'll go through the peachy, and then once again you can see the 2 creams on either side that will go up. We'll pick up a peach. I'm sure by now you may have noticed that we always end with a peach with our last bead that we pick up, and then we'll come down the cream on the other side. Just like that. We'll come across the cream at the bottom. We'll come across the peach at the bottom. We'll come across the cream at the top. But instead of exiting a rondelle like we did in the prior round, we're going to be exiting this cream bead up here. Now, because this is a 90-degree turn, eventually we're going to go through this bead here. But the reason why I have you close this off is because on the corners these beads will just be flopping loose, which is why I have you go through there. So what I want you to do is go back through these beads and exit this cream one at the bottom. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and back through the cream at the bottom there, 4, and then we'll go through the green rondelle. Now we're doing side 2. Let's see where we are. So now you can see we've got 1 full side done, and then we've got half of one and half of one. So that's where we are with that. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to repeat picking up a cream, a rondelle, and a cream, and we'll go through the green rondelle. We'll go through the next cream seed bead, and then we'll pick up 2 cream seed beads, and we'll go through these 2 cream seed beads. And also, that's a little hint. In the round where you pick up the cream, the rondelle, and the cream, like we're on this row, you'll see what you have to do, what beads you have to pick up next, because it'll show a cream and a cream. So you pick up a cream and a cream, and then you go back through the cream and the cream. I noticed that pattern when I was doing it, so I didn't have to keep looking at my notes. So then what you do is you go through the next bead, which is the rondelle, and this will tell you that your next beads you have to pick up are a cream and a rondelle. If I look at my notes, yep, I pick up a cream and a rondelle, and I go back through the cream and the rondelle. And you always finish with your peachy bead. And there, once again, you have your creams on either side. You go through the peachy, you come up the cream, we pick up a peach, we come down the cream on the other side, we come across, we come up the cream, and we come out the green rondelle. There we go. Now you can see we have to do a 90-degree turn, and then we'll start our second side. Okay, so let me just fix my thread. Sometimes my needle wants to migrate off the thread, so I have to put it back onto the thread. Okay, so now we're going to do our 90-degree turn, which is a rondelle and 2 cream seed beads. And then we're going to go back through that rondelle. We're going to go through the peach bead there, the cream bead there. And now we're going to pick up a rondelle and a peach, and we're going to go back through the rondelle and the cream. Just like that. Then we're going to go through the rondelle, and we're going to pick up 2 cream, and we're going to go back through the 2 rondelles, and there we are. And now once again we'll go across the cream, the peach, up the cream, we'll pick up a peach, come down the cream on the opposite side, come across the peach, up the cream, and out the cream. And then once again we will take our thread and go through all 4 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll go out to this green rondelle right down here. Now, as you can see, what you do on the front is what's happening on the back. So the same pattern on the front is the same pattern on the back, And you can see we have the peach going around the outer border. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up a cream, a rondelle, and a cream, and we're going to go back through the rondelle, and then we'll go through that cream bead there, pick up 2 cream beads, and we'll go back through those 2 cream beads. And then once you start getting this little side piece, your thread may get caught on it. So just mind your thread. And then we'll go through the rondelle. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pick up a cream and a rondelle, and we'll go back through the cream and the rondelle. So just like that. Okay, and then once again, go through the peach. We'll come up the cream on this side. We'll pick up a peach. We'll come down the cream on the opposite side. We'll come across the peach. We'll come up the cream. And we will come out the green rondelle. Okay, so now the only thing that we have to do is make a 90-degree turn. Then we can join it, because now we're going to have a little piece that sticks this way, and we've already got this little rondelle going this way, and that's where we're going to join them. It's so much easier to join there than it is on a 90-degree turn. So let's do our final 90-degree turn. So we'll pick up a rondelle, 2 creams, and then we'll go back through the green rondelle. And then sometimes my thread gets a little caught in between the beads. And then we'll go through the next seed bead, that cream seed bead. And then we'll pick up a rondelle and a peach. And then we'll go through the rondelle and the cream. So just like that. Okay, I'm trying to keep my thread from getting caught in everything. Then we're going to go through the green rondelle, and I'm going to pick up 2 cream rondelles, or excuse me, 2 cream seed beads. I really can't speak. Just like that. Come across the peach. We'll come up the cream on this side. We'll pick up a peach. Come down the cream on the other side. We'll come across. We'll come back up the cream on this side, and we will exit the cream here. We will do one more where we join these pieces. So 1, 2, and then we'll go back through all 4 beads, 3, 4. And yes, you still want to exit that rondelle, that green one, because that'll set us up for the closing. So you want to come down the green. Oops, see, now all the beads are in the way. So you come down the green. Okay, now you can see we are ready to close these 2 rondelles together. So I'm going to move my thread, my tail thread out of the way. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up a peach, and then we're going to go up through So your thread's coming down and we want to go up. So we kind of want to do a loop with adding the two cream beads. So we'll come up there, then we'll pick up a cream bead, and then we'll come down here, in essence making a loop with the creams on the top and the bottom and the rondelles on either side. We're going to come across this bottom cream that we just put on. We're going to come up the rondelle, and now what we're going to do is we need to flip this on its side. Let's move this tail out of the way so you guys can see. And now what you want to do, this is really good to have, you know, these colored beads here, because now you can see. We're going to go up the cream or the peachy here. We're going to pick up a cream. We're going to come down the peach on the other side. Just like that. We're going to come across the bottom cream. We'll come up the peach. And this is another easy one. Let me move this tail thread out of the way. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come up the rondelle. Move the tail. I don't like tail threads, they get in the way, but we need a tail thread, so. Okay. So now what you want to do is come up the rondelle here. Pick up a cream. Come down the rondelle here. Move the tail out of the way. Come back down this bottom cream that we put on earlier. Out and up the green. But wait, there's more. You have to join in here, in there. And the best way to do that is, if you look, see if the camera can pick it up. I don't know if it can. But in between here, you can see there's a bead with a hole facing you, and that's where my needle is. Over there. And then you want to bring your needle through there. Let's move my tail. Okay. I'm going to flip your piece over. You're going to come through this bottom piece here. And then you're going to go back through. There's a hole you'll see in there where there's a bead in between. It's like in between, I don't know, in the corner of the two rondelles and then the peach bead. And then you're going to come back out through here and then through here. Okay. And you've just completed the square. It looks really good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the easy part. We're going to grab our little 15s and we're just going to fill in the spaces. So your thread should be exiting a peach. So you just pick up a little 15 gold bead and you go through the next peach. And this is all you do. You pick up a little 15 and you go through the next peach. Excuse me. Here I go again. I am not redoing this video over the cream beads. You're going to go through the cream beads. Okay, there we go. And that's that. And then what you do is then you're going to do the outside diameter, and then we'll just follow bead holes to get us to the outside diameter. So I'll just go through that rondelle. Then you can go left or right, whatever is easier for you. I like to work in a counterclockwise direction, and then I'm going to go through the bead, and then this is just what we're going to do. Okay, so I am adding on my last bead, and I'm just going to go through the 11. because now we got to go do the other side. So I'm going through the 11, the cream. I'm going to cut through the peach here, and then I'm going to start going this way. So I'm going to go through the cream, and then we just start picking up the little 15s, going through the cream beads. And once again, I am going to go through the cream. I'll go through the green rondelle, and I'll come out the cream here, and then I will pick up and do my little inside diameter. Boop. 2, 3, and 4. And now, before I add the flower, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring my thread around just to secure it a little bit. So I'm just going to do like once around. There we go. That's good enough. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my flower ready. I'm going to grab this pretty flower. And I'm just going to take my needle and go through the hole. Just like that. And then I'm going to make my flower. I'm going to flip it over on the cup side down. I'm going to pick up the flower. And you can use, like, I don't know if I want to use the peach. I think I'm going to use a cream, just because I think it'll set off the peachy color of the flower. And you can do whatever colors you want. If you decide that you don't want to just stick with these colors and you want to do some other colors, you can. You don't have to stick with this colorway. In fact, you don't even have to stick with just using these 2 colors for your flowers. You can choose whatever colors you want. It's your bracelet, you have fun with it. And then there it is. So now we're around the back, and what I like to do is just bring and go back through again a few times, just to really anchor my my thread in here. And because of the little 15s, and we've already gone through quite a few times with the 11s and the 15s, the little beads are actually, because they have smaller holes, they're going to hold the thread in better. So the friction will actually keep it in, and just, keep it tight and keep your thread where it should be. And I can feel myself trying to get through. So I think that's good. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tail thread, what's left of it. Should have made a longer tail. That's all right. And then I'm going to bring this down around the back. And then I think I'm going to, let's see, exit there. I'll exit the rondelle and exit that little 15. So I'm going to exit the same bead that my working thread, and then I'm just going to tie it. And I'm going to tell you I'm okay to glue this because I'm not going to go back into the center for any reason, because my flower is already there. And when we go to join the edges here, we're only going to be working around the outer diameter. And you can see there's no reason for us to go anywhere near the center. So that's that. And then after you do your knots, you can do that. You can glue, do what you have to do, and then I'm not going to. And there's your component. Okay, so we made the component, and off camera I made another component because With a bracelet like this, it's kind of hard to figure out just how much you're going to need, like how many components you're going to need to make. So what I want to show you is how to join them, and then you can make your component, bead it, and add it to your bracelet as you go. So that way you're not under creating or over creating different components. So for example, this is a 7.5-inch bracelet. This has got 8 components and it fits me pretty nicely. I'm not going to join it because I will not get the bracelet off, but that's what 8 components does. And it is very easy to join. So let's get into that part. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I took off the jump rings, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to add these components together. And depending on how many components you're going to bead, you're going to want to have like a good amount of thread on your needle, just because we're going to go and then we're going to work through and bring our needle through. When you make your component, you'll add it, and then you'll work your thread through and get yourself ready so you can add your next component. I'm going to do this clasp last, only because if I add the clasp now, there's really no place for me to have my thread tied off. But if we do this and go through here, the thread will be worked through the piece and we'll have something. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to leave a really, like, not a really long tail, but maybe at least a good, I don't know, what is that, like 9-inch tail, so that way I have some thread on the back end here to join the clasp. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just come here like this. Now when you're looking at your component, you'll see you'll have the peach, 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 peach. We're going to be working with these 2 peach beads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring this, and then I'm going to leave a really long tail. I think that's good for the clasp. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the express train and just come around the top, and then come around here like this, and then we'll use that tail piece to attach the clasp at the end. Okay, and now once we come here, we're going to come down over here, this size 11 here. Okay, and we're going to come down this peach bead here. Okay, and this is going to set us up for our first one. Now because it's coming down, we're going to have to flip this over. Okay, and now what we're going to pick up is a cream, a peach, a green, rondelle, a peach, and a cream. And because the thread is coming up, we want to go down. So we're going to do this in a loop kind of thing. So we want to go down on this piece right here, down like that on this side. Okay, and now what we can do, so in essence that's what it's going to look like. Then we can flip it over, and now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up a peach, a cream, a peach, and then we're going to go through the rondelle just like that. It's okay if it's going to be wonky like this, don't worry about it. Okay, and then we're going to pick up a peach and a cream, and we're going to go back down. So now it's top to bottom. So it basically in essence went into a loop just like that. I'll pull a little tight. Oops, my thread got caught. Mind your thread, make sure it doesn't get caught on your flowers. And that's one side. And then we'll just flip it over. We'll come through the cream bead over here. You just follow your beads. And now we'll come down the peach on this side, which has us come to the top part. You can see where we're going with this. So let me move. That's our tail. It's a really long tail. And now, let's see. Well, let's just put our beads out in the, here. There you go. Now you can see the beads. I am not redoing this video. Okay. So now what we're going to do is pick up a cream, a peach, green rondelle, a peach, and a cream. And then we'll go top, bottom. Top, bottom. So just like that. And now we'll flip it over. And now we'll pick up a cream, a peach. We'll go through the green rondelle. And then we'll pick up a peach and a cream. And now we'll go top to bottom that way. And there we are. Let's move the tail out of the way. And now we're back at the top. Now, to get your thread over here, what we're going to do is we're just going to go follow, you know, we have to go through these beads to get to the next side. So these beads are going to act like a little bridge. So then we'll go through the green rondelle. And then we'll go through the peach and the cream, just like that. And then we'll just give it a little boop boop, little tight tug. And then we'll go through the cream here, just like that. And now what we'll do is we'll just we'll take the express train all through the beads here, just like this, until we come to this peachy here. So we'll come through that right there, go through that cream bead, and then we'll come down the peach. Mind your thread, and there you go. Now what you can do is you can start adding your components. But now let's add the clasp. I've left a nice tail, and that is awesome. So I'm going to take my needle, and I'm going to put my needle on this side. Okay, so now my thread is coming down at the bottom here, so it's coming out the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my clasp like this. I'm just going to line it up so I can see, which means I'm going to have to come up through the bottom of the clasp like this. So I'm going to pick up a cream. I'm going to come up through here. I'm going to pick up another cream, and I'm going to go down. So in essence, I'm making a loop. Okay. It's gonna be a little awkward at first, but that's okay. And there we are. So now what I want to do is I just want to go and reinforce this quite a few times. Because this is fire line. This will stay. And then I'm just going to go down the cream, the peach. And then just do this. And you can do this as many times as you want. And then once you do that, you come back up here. We'll come across this cream over here. And then we will come down, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll pick up a cream, we'll come up through the bottom of the hole, and then we'll pick up a cream, come back down the peachy, like that. And there you go. So that's basically how you attach it. And you can see the cream in the little circles, and the peach, the clasp, and the cream on the top, and the cream at the bottom. And then you just do that and secure it. As many times as you like. And for the sake of this video, I'm not going to do it for much longer. And there we go. And then you can work. We'll bring this through the top. We'll come down the peach. And then you can work your thread back through the piece. Okay, which I'm not going to do for the sake of this video, but you can do it as you go. And that is how you join as you go. And then once you continue doing the components and you've added your components that you think you're going to need, then you just join here like you joined there. It's very easy. And that gives you this bracelet. So once you've made your joinings, so we did our joining there, we added our components, and then once we added our last component, we did the joining again with the 2 seed beads on the other side. So there's that. I hope you really enjoyed this bracelet. I had so much fun making this. This was very fun for my Mayflowers bracelet. And like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.